Quiana. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. So on today's show, we have Quiana Shonté of Watch Realty Co. And this is a very special interview because I feel like we're going to go ahead and basically just revamp your entire story moving forward.
Yes.
And I want to make it as personal as possible. I want the audience to learn more about you, who you are, where you're from, but more importantly, how you're impacting the entire real estate community with everything that you're doing. So Quiana, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me. When you gave me the invite, I'm like, wait a minute. I looked at your page and said, he's badass. Why am I just now getting on here?
Thank you. I know we got together. We were at the Big Asian Image dinner last night.
Yes.
You're obviously a client of theirs, and you've done so much from luxury real estate to investing to going out of your way to build this powerful coaching community. Where do we start? Where do you want to go ahead and kick off at?
I think let's just start with who I am as a person. I think that's a good place to start.
Amazing. So take us back to day one. Yes.
Let me take you back to day one. So I'm originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I moved to Atlanta in 2005, actually. In 2005, I moved there by myself, had $5,000 to my name, and no job. So it's kind of crazy like how I got there, but I just knew I wanted to have more out of life. I started working at a marketing firm, and I thought it was marketing, but it was really cold calling for a construction company.
Okay.
We were selling the data, like of upcoming projects and selling that data to other developers. And so I decided to get my real estate license, got my license in 2007. I'm laughing because I never sold a house.
Perfect timing, right?
Perfect timing because I never sold a house.
Yeah.
But I never sold a house because I didn't understand the fundamentals of real estate, and then the market crashed. So when that market crashed, I jumped right into property management, and I worked in property management from 2008 into 2015. So I always tell people that whole time period, I deactivated my license, I never sold a house, and I was doing so well in property management, and by the time I was managing like a 280 unit community, and they went to sell that property, I took my severance pay and I said, I'm ready to get back into real estate full time. So my real comeback started September of 2015.
But you know what's interesting? You basically got a master's in real estate in the property management side. A lot of agents kind of skip the entire aspect of building their skill set, learning the market, managing all of that stuff. It seems like you actually built it from the right way, from the ground up. 2015 comes around, what happens then?
2015 came around, it was one of those years where I was trying to find my way. So I closed a couple of deals, and I'm like, I'm doing good. And then I said, I'm going to change the game. So then I came up with this tagline. Now, hold on, let me make sure this was disclaimer only. It's just a tagline because they made me take it down. I called myself the Carrie Bradshaw of real estate. I came in 2017, 2016. I just kicked the door wide open. I had a whole marketing campaign, and I literally just increased my production, like 10x my production that year. And I realized the power of marketing, branding, and I started doing a lot of social media, like branding and marketing, and that's when everything took off.
Everything blew. All right, so I'm a systems guy, so I was like dissecting that entire process. So when you say marketing, did you buy billboards? Did you send out flyers? Did you hire cold callers? Were you doing television? Like, define the marketing for me.
I got to go through the layers. I feel like at that time, I was just doing social media branding and marketing. I hired a marketing guy, and I was doing these social media videos, getting out the car before I saw everyone doing them now. So I was really narrating. I've never paid for leads. I've never had to pay for leads. I've never cold called. I literally just got all of my leads and people from social media, which was a free platform. I didn't pay for ads. I still to this day have never paid for ads.
100% organic.
100% organic on me getting my leads. Now I may do some ads on my listings, and it really came from me talking to my audience and being personable, sharing my day to day. And at that time, it wasn't many people on Instagram doing it consistently. And I was consistent every day in their face, showing property, talking about real estate. And then to add to it, I was doing also home buying events. I like to call, do not call it a seminar.
Yes.
Let's elevate the way it sounds.
Correct.
I was doing home buying events every quarter. And they just started to blow up. So I was catering the events. I had a full panel. So people looked forward to coming to these events because it was an experience. And at the same time, I was able to garner the leads. And so I understand the process of you get as much information as possible. So I might have 200 people sign up for my home buying event and 50 people show up. But guess what? I have those people's data. I have their email address, first name, text message, and now we're starting the back-end marketing campaign. That's how we're able to close the gap and close so many people.
So, all right, so that is the perfect funnel, right? You're doing the event as the lead magnet. You get their name, phone number, information, their motivation, everything on that end. And then the whole back end, did you build that? Did you hire someone? Like what is that follow-up process like?
So at first I built it, of
Okay,
course, because
okay.
I think I know everything. I'm trying to do it myself. So at first I built it, and I was using the software Chime, now that was recently
Yes.
sold to Lofty. So I had Chime back then.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
I built it all out,
Yeah.
and I started doing funnels. It wasn't until 2018 that I learned about sales funnels. Then I hired a marketing person to help me sharpen that.
Okay.
So I really just kind of learned as I went.
Yeah.
And I understood that marketing, I understood the importance of gathering data from my property management experience. So I kind of use those soft skills to lean into building and scaling my team.
This is so good as well for anyone listening, because you're building the foundational skills in property management. You're going out of your way to drive the marketing to get leads, and then you're building out the systems in the back end to nurture those leads to get clients. Once you get to that point where you have the system down, what happens? Do you start building a team, or what do you do when you get so busy?
Oh, immediately. So it was just me and my transaction coordinator for about a year.
Okay.
Then I was getting a little burnt out.
Yes.
I was getting burnt out. So then
Correct.
I hired my first assistant, and I remember it
Amazing.
clearly because I was heading to Italy,
Yeah.
and I was like, I need an assistant now. I just hired my first assistant.
Correct.
And I brought her into the loop, and she's still with me to this day. She's
No
now
kidding.
she's an
Amazing.
independent agent with her own team at my brokerage.
Okay,
So
cool.
I brought her in, and I didn't have SOPs. I didn't have things in. I just threw her in the fire.
Yeah.
And then literally 3 months after her, I hired a second assistant. So that was me and 2 assistants and a transaction coordinator. Because at the time, I was just focused on production.
Correct.
My team was more of a support team, not necessarily a team that was going to go and close their own deals.
Yeah.
And I did that for about a year and a half. And then it transitioned into me getting my own assistant just for me, my own showing concierge just for me. And then they started to get into production.
So this is so crazy, because when I'm coaching agents and I'm telling them how to scale their business, the exact hierarchy and the exact hiring model that you just laid out is exactly what I tell everyone. I say start off with a TC, get someone that you don't have to pay a salary to, you can just hand off those transactions to, then get an executive assistant to assist you with your stuff, then get an admin to run your operations, then get a showing assistant to go out there and do anything involves getting into a car, and now you have the foundation to scale to as big as you want to get to. So that is, like, how much did hiring other people make an impact on your life?
It catapulted my business. It gave me the ability to do what I was good at. I'm great at sales. I'm great with people, and I didn't have to deal with the back end.
Yeah.
I could sell them, and I like to say sell them on my personality, sell them on my knowledge, and then get them with the right people to show the property to get everything else done. So it gave me room to scale up. And at the time, I was closing like 50, 60 people a year. So it was like a lot to get, I was building up my sales volume, and I was building up my average sales price. So I was handling a lot of people.
Yeah, you went from 0 to 100. Okay.
Yes,
And then you're building out the team, you're recruiting agents. At what point did you decide to go from team leader to now broker owner?
Okay, so that was a transition. So I was at what I would like to call, it was like more of a, it was like a fee brokerage.
Okay.
And I came in there, I was fine there, I got the training that I needed.
Okay.
But when I recognized, I felt like I was kind of stuck. Like I was stuck at that closing about 16 million a year.
Yeah.
And at the time, the average price point in the metro Atlanta area was close to like 250.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to level up.
Yeah.
Compass had just came to Atlanta. And that was in 2019. I was like, you know what? I'm going to, I had the production numbers because they had the minimum production. And I went over there, I said, I want to try something different.
Yeah.
And I want to expose myself to people that are heavy hitters.
Okay.
Because they had that minimum where it's like, people that are there are producing.
Correct.
So I went over there as a principal agent, and I brought my 2 team members with me, which was Kiara and Bria, and my assistant at the time.
Yeah.
So we just came in there and we rocked and rolled. In 2019, I was like a sponge. I was at the office, I was listening, I was taking note of what they were doing. I was at every meeting, and I was like, oh, now I see why they're selling luxury.
Yeah.
Let me continue to like sharpen my skills. And so by the time we got into 2020, we all know March 2020, that's when COVID happened. So everybody was just kind of taken aback, trying to figure out what they were going to do. And then that's when I took the time to start looking at my numbers. Like, do people know who the brokerage I'm with, or do they know who I am?
Got it.
And it's like, am I ready? Because I already had my broker's license. I got my broker's license 2 years prior. So I'm like, am I ready to go out on my own? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. So I used the whole time during COVID to plan my marketing campaign, come up with the business name, record videos, do all these things with my team. And we went live as my brokerage in July of 2020. That was 5 years ago.
Amazing, yeah.
Crazy thing is I closed my first deal at 1.4 million. Up until then, my highest deal was like 800,000.
Yeah.
I closed my first deal at 1.4 million in September of 2020.
No kidding.
Then
Okay.
at the end of that, I closed the deal at 1.9 million. Shout out to my girl Snoop. She was like, she believed in me. She owns several restaurants in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I closed her deal at like 1.9 million, and it just kept growing from there. And I was able to close the largest deals of my career under my own brokerage.
Under your name.
And
Wow.
I'm very proud of that. And we were able to just continue to grow and scale. I took a lot of classes.
Yeah.
I invested in a lot of knowledge. Whatever the cost, I wanted to know how to run this company and run it right.
I could tell you're huge on personal development.
Yes.
You're huge on coaching, on mentorship, on growth. You understand that buying back your time is very valuable, and why go out there and figure it out yourself when you could just find the person that's already done it and copy their blueprint.
Exactly.
So no, we're on the same wavelength. So now fast forward us to today, okay? Because you're doing so many things in the coaching community and luxury real estate within your brokerage. What's the next 5-year plan for Quiana?
Okay, my next 5-year plan is very clear. So I had a short stint, and I like to talk about this because it's really important. I think it's a part of my process. I had so many opportunities come at me. So let's keep in mind, 2021, 2022, I did a reality television show.
Okay.
For 2 years, I did a real estate podcast with Earn Your Leisure. It was Rants and
Yes.
Gems. I traveled and did that. And I was just so busy saying yes to every opportunity, trying to figure out where I wanted to go with Watson Realty Co. at the time.
Okay.
That I didn't even look to scale it up.
Yeah.
And so in all this time of 2023, I had a divorce. I got
Okay.
divorced. And I took a step back to recognize where I wanted to position myself and what I wanted to say yes to and what I wanted to say no to. And now I'm completely all in. And one, I want to double down and focus on working with developers that are building luxury product.
Love it.
I want to continue to impress myself. I got something to prove to me. I
Yeah.
want a $10 million listing. The Metro Atlanta area is $5 million listings are great,
Correct.
but my goal is to work my way up there. And I'm just in a space where I'm like, I want to start over. This is Quiana 2.0. So I am releasing myself of my maiden name.
Yeah.
So I'm no longer going to be Quiana Watson. That is my ex-husband's name. You can call me Quiana Shonté.
Okay.
And we are changing the company name. It's no longer Watson Realty Co. It is now Watch Realty Co. And I'm doubling down. I have my location in Buckhead with 50 agents. I just did a franchise partnership with 2 other agents. Now it's Watch Realty Co. Gwinnett County.
Amazing.
And I'm looking to franchise this into other major cities across the United States.
So as of the coming out of this video, this is official.
This is official.
This is it.
This is it.
This is the announcement.
They saw it here first.
Okay.
Yes.
I love it. And what I love about what you're doing is I've interviewed the top agents throughout the world. I've interviewed the top agents in Miami, LA, New York. And the one thing I notice about them, it's this ambition and this hunger for more. It's to become the best version of themselves. You clearly have that. So if you haven't had the feedback or the compliment as of lately, you're going to get there. And
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you in my network and in our circle. How can people find you? How can people start working with you once they hear about your story and they get inspired and they say, you know what, I want to be like Quiana. Like how do I partner up with you?
Oh, so easy. Find me, Quiana Shonté, on all social media networks, also on my website. And you can, if you want to join my training community, it's Agent Tools for Success. We've been around forever. We have our membership. We have some pre-recorded content. And we have what I'm really proud of, which is the Broker's Blueprint. I didn't see many people telling people how to open their own brokerage and giving them a back-end systems and SOPs, systems and processes. So that is if you're like, hey, I want to open my own brokerage, start there, trust me, because I wish I had that when I went to open my brokerage.
And I'll be honest, I haven't seen that either. So I'm learning about this for the very first time right now, so I'm definitely going to check that out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And I just want people to know, just have the audacity to go after the big shit. We talk ourselves out of everything. And I think as real estate agents, we have to realize there's so many different ways that we can skin a cat.
Correct.
I think my business model will just be top producing agents, offices maybe to 50 to 100 agents in each office, but doubling down on my personal production and luxury and servicing those developer clients.
Amazing. And how can people find you on the personal side? Do you have an Instagram?
It's the same.
Okay.
I blend my I feel like I just call it a nice little blend. One night you see me hanging out, the next day you see me closing the deal. It's just all the same, right? So I don't believe in having 2 different pages, but Watch Realty Co. is the official office page, and you can go there as well.
Amazing.
See
Quiana,
all my agents.
Quiana, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like we just gave everyone the masterclass in terms of how to go from solo entrepreneur agent to going out there and building this brokerage empire. I know I'm going to be seeing you all throughout the country with your brokers and everything on that side. side. And for anyone listening, if you're interested in learning more about staffing, if you want an executive assistant like Quiana has, that's what we do here at Gold Bar Staffing. You can check us out at goldbarstaffing.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Juan Goldbar. But Quiana, thank you so much. It was great meeting you. And
thank you for
I look
having
forward
me.
for the round 2 when you're
This
all over the country.
2.0,
Let's do it.
you're gonna love it.
Amazing.
All
Cool.
right, thank
cool.
you. Thank you.
Great job.
Yeah.